Hey everybody, if you enjoy the podcast and the content it provides, be sure to hop over and check out the community. The community is an exclusive members website that is just an extension of what we do here in July at the Central Virginia Sport Performance Seminar. What it is a combination of video lectures, a coach's corner with your Monday morning take-home information, and a forum where you can talk about anything and everything related to the field of strength and conditioning. In the community, you'll find content added each month from some of the top practitioners in the world, ranging from PhDs to high level coaches, bringing you exactly what they're doing with their athletes or their research at the present moment. On top of that, an additional discussion by coaches bringing you that Monday morning information, things that you can add to your training program right away. Tying that in with the opportunity to discuss with coaches around the world in the forum on anything and everything from the topics addressed in these presentations to whatever you're seeing in your daily life as a coach. If this sounds like the right thing for you and your staff, go ahead and hop over to cvasps.com/community and try it out for 48 hours for just $1. If you like it, you're signed up, ready to roll, and you're jumping into all the great content added each month. If not, feel free to go ahead and cancel at any time. No questions asked. We're really excited about what we're building in the community and hope you are too. Go ahead and hop over to cvasps.com/community and check it out today.
Hey everyone, my name is Jeremy Golden. I'm the Director of Sports Performance at Santa Clara University. And I just wanted to talk for a few minutes about something that I've been thinking a lot about lately, and that is how to deal with a losing season and how to keep progressing, keep the athletes moving forward, and keep making progress, even when things may not be going well on the court or in the field or whatever sport you're working with. I think we've all been there where we've had seasons that haven't gone our way. I mean, teams are losing. You may have been bitten by the injury bug a little bit. Coaches are frustrated, but you got to keep going. There's still a lot that has to be done, a lot of things that need to be done to grow this team and think about the future, think about the present. It's never over till it's over, and I think especially in basketball, and if you have a conference tournament, you always have a chance. There's always a chance to get there, and get to a postseason tournament, and you just got to keep grinding. And I think the one thing I like to think about for us as strength coaches is I always try to be positive. I think being positive is the most important thing you can do. You got to be consistent with the athletes. They have to know that when they come in the weight room, the talk is not going to be about basketball or about soccer or about football or whatever sport you're training. It's got to be about just getting better and the process. And we've all been there where our athletes just don't want to be here. They're tired, they're frustrated, school, academics are piling up on them, the coaches are yelling at them, things are not going their way. So how do we still move forward? How do we still build and grow through that? And I think that's something that I've been faced with this year with a few of my teams, and I've gotten that look where my athletes will come in and they'll kind of look at me and be like, "Oh, do we really have to lift today? We're tired." And that's when I think the job of a strength coach becomes fun, and it becomes important. It makes you really a vital part of that staff and a vital part of what they need from you. It's not just about the X's and O's of training at that point, even though I love in-season training, and I think in-season training can be the most beneficial in many ways. I really enjoy designing an in-season program based on where they are from the previous week's game or whatever it is, and adapting to certain needs or certain injuries or whatever it is. I think you can grow a lot in season. It's not just about maintenance for me. It's still about developing. And but I think when they come in the weight room, they have to know that they're going to be in a place where I like to call it a safe place. There's accountability, there's discipline. They have to get the work done, but they can do it in a way where they're going to have some fun and they can get away from the pressures of the game for a few minutes and just train. I think we all know they say that sweating, they always say cardiovascular work is the best antidepressant, and I think it's training, getting under that bar, lifting some weight, throwing some iron up. That is a great way just to get your mind free, forget about things for 30, 40 minutes, and then you can go back to it. But if they can get work done in here and continue to grow, that's what we need to be focusing on as strength coach, especially when times are tough. And we really don't have control of wins and losses. I know sometimes we get wrapped up where we think we do, but we've got to keep them healthy. We got to keep them strong. We got to keep them moving forward. And I always try to keep that in mind as we get through the course of a long season. And things can change quick. You never know. You might get that one lucky break. You might get a win, and it might cause a chain reaction of wins. You might have a loss, and it might cause a chain reaction of losses. But I always believe you've got to be consistent, and you've got to stay the course no matter what. And that leads me to my next thought, and that's when you have redshirt players. How do you deal with a redshirt player? They're frustrated. They want to be out there. They're just as frustrated as the players that are playing and aren't winning because they want to help. And then it becomes a long year, especially if you're in basketball and you get to February and you've been going since August, September, whenever you started your last bit of training before preseason. They're still doing all the practices. They're still doing all the weights. Then they're doing extra weights, but they're not seeing the benefit. They're not getting on the court, and they're not getting to put that uniform on and play that game. How do you keep them going? What do you do to keep them going? And I think for me, what I've learned is, once again, it comes down to being positive, but it comes down to giving them a program where they can grow and where they can see that, hey, this is going to carry me for years to come during my time here. And I think that's really something that you got to keep in mind. You can't crush them, but you got to work them. And that work will help them say, hey, I am doing something. I am accomplishing something. Because it's hard. It's hard to sit there and just watch your teammates play and you're just, you're helpless. And one thing I do is I create an environment where they can have some fun. I give them some autonomy in terms of what they want to do. Certain days I'll be like, hey, it's your choice, cardio, lift. We can do circuit. We can do some running, some speed work. I like to give them choices in that regard because I think that empowers them. And that goes even with my teams, the teams that are the girls that are playing, the guys that are playing in season. I want them to feel a little bit of autonomy, like, hey, what can I do? What can I as a player do to help myself get ready for the game? And I think that's really, really important, especially when times do get tough. If these athletes feel like they have some, I don't want to say power, I don't want to say because we still want to make sure that we're giving them the proper programming. But if they feel like they have some input in what they're doing, they're going to buy in and they're going to want to do it. And that's the most important thing in season, is getting them to want to do it, getting them to be excited about it. In season's a tough time. It can be a great time. It can be a hard time. But I think no matter what, when we're training, we have to make sure, we have to keep that in mind, that we're always, that we're always trying to develop. That's what I think about all the time, is whether we've got a senior who's got a month left in their season or we've got a redshirt freshman, we're still trying to develop. We're still trying to get them better. We're still trying to move forward and grow. And I think that's something that's really, really important. And no matter how frustrated I get, and I get frustrated, we all get frustrated, but when these athletes come in, I always keep that in mind. It's about development. It's about getting them better. It's about keeping their bodies right, keeping their minds right. And we can always get stronger. We can always get fitter. We can always be more mobile, be more flexible. We can always get to another level. And even if it's in-season training, it doesn't matter. We can always get to another level. And it's just how we do it, and it's the speed and the rate in which we do it. And I think the development aspect is key. It's like with a red shirt, you're developing them for the future, but with your current players, you're developing them for the present and the future. And that's I always like to look at that. I like to talk to the players about that too. Like, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. We always say that. And these sports seasons, I don't care what sport you're in, these seasons are long and they get to be a grind. And with academics and school and they have to sleep, they have to eat, they have to have somewhat of a social life and see their friends, see their family. It gets tough, and we want to make sure that we're giving them the proper resources to still grow. But I think my thoughts were just how to deal with a losing season, and I think it's about staying positive. It's about understanding the process, and the process is we need to grow, we need to keep growing, we need to keep developing. And I think if we all keep that in mind, at the end of the day, the win-loss record is not going to matter in the overall growth. What's going to matter is, did these kids grow? Did they get better? I say that We all want to win. It's about winning. We know that. But how, as strength coaches, are we going to develop them and get them through what can be a tough season? Because when you look back, you can learn as much, if not more, from losing than you can from winning. And if you can take those lessons you learned during the course of a tough season and turn them into a positive moving forward, I think that's really, really important, and that's huge for the growth of the entire team moving on. I'm real thankful I got the chance to talk to everybody today, and I hope everybody's doing great and having a great winter, and look forward to seeing everybody soon.